Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is the part 2 on immunology MCQs. In this lecture, we will mainly focus on the general immunology and MCQs on the hypersensitivity. MCQs number 1 is hypersensitivity reactions are broadly classified into four different types: type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4. Which of the following hypersensitivity occurs via IgE antibody? So, type 1 is mainly responsible. Type 1 hypersensitivity is mainly done by the IgE antibody. The T helper 1 cell releases cytokines to activate macrophages or T cells and cause direct cellular damage. Which of the following hypersensitivity reactions are mediated by sensitized T helper as 1 cells? So it is a type 4 hypersensitivity that is mediated by the sensitized T helper 1 cells. Immunological unresponsiveness to self-antigen is called the tolerance. Which one of the following is not included in innate immune response? So antibody production is not the innate immune response, it is the acquired immune response. Which of the following hypersensitivity reactions is a result of the massive deposition of immune complex in various tissues and can induce complement activation and inflammation responses? So it is the type 3 hypersensitivity. Which of the following hypersensitivity reactions involve antibody-directed complement activation and antibody-dependent cell type cytotoxicity? तो it is type 2 hypersensitivity जिसमें complement activation और antibody dependent cell cytotoxicity इस्तेमाल होती है. When allergens cross links with IgE bound to the Fc receptors on the mast cells, Fc receptor of the antibodies on the mast cells, the allergens induces the release of the mediators. Which of the following receptors have high affinity towards the IgE? So receptor Fc epsilon R1 is high affinity towards the IgE. A hereditary predisposition of the development of immediate hypersensitivity reaction against common environmental antigens is called the atopy hypersensitivity. तो जब environmental antigens के against it is called the atopy. Which of the following blood cells function primarily as a phagocyte in parasitic infection? तो parasitic infection में जो phagocytes होते हैं these are the eosinophils. Which can recognize MHC1 molecule? तो MHC1 molecule can be recognized by the CD8 T lymphocytes. Which of the following domain present in the Fc region of IgE molecule enables the binding of glycoproteins to receptors on the surface of the basophils and the mast cells? So it is CH3. The high affinity Fc epsilon R1 receptors function in signal transduction, activation, and degranulation of chemical mediators such as histamine, leukotrienes, and the prostaglandins for the mast cell. Which of the following intercellular messengers serve as this function? So calcium mainly responsible. Positive tuberculin test is an example of type 4 hypersensitivity. Which of the following does not stimulate phagocytes? So amongst these, histamine is not responsible for the process of the phagocytosis. Histamine is mainly responsible in the allergic reactions. All of the following are true concerning immunoglobulin M antibody except which one? So immunoglobulin they mediate allergic रिएक्शन, तो ये एलर्जिक रिएक्शन मीडिएट नहीं करते. बाकी सारे फंक्शंस जो हैं इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन एम के हैं. ऑल ऑफ द फॉलोइंग आर ट्रू कंसर्निंग इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन ई एक्सेप्ट विच वन? तो इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन ई दे विल क्रॉस द प्लेसेंटा एंड फिक्स द कंप्लीमेंट. नो, IgE नेवर क्रॉस द प्लेसेंटा और नेवर फिक्स द कंप्लीमेंट. तो IgE का मेनली फंक्शन होता है इन द हाइपरसेंसिटिव टाइप 1 और जो क्रॉस प्लेसेंटा कर सकते हैं एंटीबॉडी वो सिर्फ IgG हैं. IgG कैन क्रॉस द प्लेसेंटा, नन अदर कैन क्रॉस द प्लेसेंटा. The persistent level of which of the following second messenger inhibits the degranulation of the mast cell and release of the mediators of anaphylaxis? So it is the cyclic AMP. Which of the following is not the example of type 1 hypersensitivity reaction? So systemic lupus erythematosus is not the type 1 hypersensitive reaction. Atopic dermatitis is the type 1, while contact dermatitis is the type 4 hypersensitivity. The type 1 early response occurs within the minutes of allergic response. Which of the following is the early mediators of type 1 hypersensitivity reaction? So early mediators all include histamine, leukotrienes, and the prostaglandins. The type 1 late response occurs hours later and involve the following mediators. So all of the above are involved in the late response of the type 1. All of the following drugs are involved in increased production of or maintenance of cyclic MP level to prevent anaphylaxis except so cromolyn sodium is not responsible in the maintenance of cyclic MP level. During a blood transfusion, ABO incompatibilities lead to the recognition of A or B antigens present on the RBC, resulting in complement-mediated cell lysis. Which of the following antibody isotype is primarily involved in this type 2 hypersensitivity reaction? So IgM responsible in this type of reaction. Autoimmunity develops due to the loss of immunological tolerance. Which type of hypersensitivity is antibody mediated? So all three, one, two, and three types of hypersensitivity are responsible. One, two, and three. Option number E is correct. So all three types of hypersensitivity are antibody mediated. Erythroblastosis fetalis is a severe form of hemolytic disease developed when Rh-positive fetus expresses Rh antigen on its blood that the mother does not express. Which of the following condition is true regarding this condition? So, all of the above are the true regarding this condition. Which of the following drugs can induce all four types of hypersensitivity reaction? Penicillin can cause all four types of allergic reactions. Chemical release from the mast cells during an allergic reaction include all of the following except interferons are not released from the mast cells during the allergic reaction. Interferons are antiviral proteins. The inappropriate response of immune system towards a relative harmless antigen causing harm to the host is referred to as the hypersensitivity. It is the definition of the hypersensitivity. Which of the following the disease is not the example of type 3 hypersensitivity reaction? So Down syndrome is not the example of the type 3 hypersensitivity reaction amongst these. All of the following statement regarding type 3 hypersensitivity reaction is true except neutrophils and macrophages clear the immune complexes and tissue damage. It is not the uh, characteristic of the type 3 hypersensitivity. Which of the following statement is not true regarding the sensitization phase of delayed type hypersensitivity (DTH)? So it is CD8 T helper 1 cells are primarily activated after exposure to the antigen. It is not responsible. Which of the following statement is not true regarding the effector phase of delayed type hypersensitivity? So T helper 2 cells secrete antibodies and activate antibody dependent cell toxicity is not responsible for the effector phase. An acute inflammatory focus would attract neutrophils. The vasoactive amine that causes vasodilation released during the inflammation is found in which of the cells? These are the mast cells. The type of protection provided by the injection of diphtheria toxide. जब डिप्थीरिया टॉक्साइड हम इंजेक्ट करेंगे तो इसमें कौन सी इम्यूनिटी आएगी? आर्टिफिशियल अक्वायर्ड एक्टिव इम्यूनिटी. The type of protection provided by the injection of anti-rabies serum, it is the artificial acquired passive immunity. क्योंकि ये प्रिपेयर्ड एंटीबॉडीज हैं, जब प्रिपेयर्ड एंटीबॉडीज इंजेक्ट करेंगे तो वो आर्टिफिशियल अक्वायर्ड पैसिव इम्यूनिटी होगी, और यहाँ पे टॉक्सिन को हमने डिटॉक्सिफाई किया तो वो एंटीजन होगी. जब एंटीजन के अगेंस्ट जो आर्टिफिशियली इम्यूनिटी इंड्यूस होती है उसको हम आर्टिफिशियल अक्वायर्ड एक्टिव इम्यूनिटी कहते हैं. The type of protection resulting from the recovery from an infection, so it is the natural acquired active immunity. A newborn's immunity to yellow fever is natural acquired passive immunity. Localized anaphylaxis is the example of type 1 hypersensitivity. Allergic contact dermatitis is the type 4 hypersensitivity. Due to immune complexes, it is type 3 hypersensitivity. Reaction to an incompatible blood transfusion, type 2 hypersensitivity. The contact with allergen that result in symptom, it is called provoc- uh, provocative dose. Production of IgE and the degeneration of the mast cells are involved in the anaphylaxis. Major histocompatibility complex MHC class 1 is the cell surface molecule present on the all nucleated cells. MHC class 2 is a cell surface molecule present on the antigen presenting cells. Humoral immunity involves all of the following except T cells never involve the humoral immunity. T cells involve in the cell mediated immunity. Which is the artificial passive acquired immunity? The ingestion of the colostrum is the artificial passive acquired immunity. Antibodies contain heavy and light chain. B lymphocytes are involved in the humoral immunity because humoral immunity involves in the production of the antibodies. Thank you so much. This is all about the general introduction of the hypersensitivity types, MCQs. These MCQs will be helpful in the exams.